October 7th, 2023, 3,000 Gazans poured into Israel, destroying everything in their path. We're still feeling the impact of that day. Border communities are now ghost towns. Schools and businesses have emptied as Israelis mobilized to serve our country. And even as we said goodbye to our loved ones in those first terrible weeks, the rockets never stopped. A year in, we're still caught between hostilities and healing, between mourning and moving on. Every Israeli remembers where they were on October 7th, 2023. Whether we were in Israel or abroad, all of us remember the sense of disbelief. This can't be happening. There must be a mistake. But while many of us pretend we've gotten used to our horrible new status quo, it still has the power to shock us. We might forget for a minute or two that our soldiers are still fighting in Gaza, that this chubby smiling redhead turned one in captivity, that hundreds of thousands of us are displaced from our homes. And then, the memory of that day floods back in. With it comes all the shock and the horror and the disbelief of those first few weeks. The sense that at any moment, we'll wake up and find ourselves back in the world we used to know. The world in which parents can hug their kids whenever they want. The world in which the Nova Music Festival was just a really fun party and not a national nightmare in which 360 people lost their lives and another 40 hauled away to Gaza. A year in, millions of us are grappling with our anger. We're enraged that more than 100 of us have not yet come home. We're livid that so many of us are still on the front lines. That October 7th happened at all. The moment that you learn to live with their absence. The grief doesn't go away, but you grow around it. Sometimes you go a whole hour without remembering what you've lost. But what happens when your country is still fighting? When your partner is on the front line for months, leaving you to manage everything else by yourself? What happens when your neighbors and kids and friends go off to serve their country and never come back? When your loved ones are still not free? We cannot accept that our soldiers are still fighting, that over 100 Israelis are still stuck in Gaza, that people around the world still have the audacity to deny our pain. So no, today is not the day we start talking about acceptance, but we have survived thousands of years of suffering, and we're still here, still breathing, living, remembering, creating, and hoping. Our hearts are broken, but our spirits remain unbreakable, now and always.